Modestas front, right here, straight in.
Yeah.
Obviously, an incredibly hard-fought fight in there. So I guess physically, how are you feeling after a war like that?
My leg's a little bit beat up, but aside from that, I mean, I always knew it was going to be a hard fight against Marcin. He's one of the very few guys that can throw all these extravagant kicks like me. Obviously, I used more of my boxing in that fight, but it definitely added a whole nother layer of, trying to prepare, because it's not often I have a guy that can throw that kind of stuff against me. So I had to use other areas of my game, which I was very adamant to show, obviously.
And you said that you knew he was going to be a tough guy, but you were landing some clean shots in there, and he stayed standing quite often. So what's going through your mind when you're landing your best shots and he's still fighting back?
I got a little bit overeager with a certain. I should have sort of picked my shots a little bit better, maybe feinted a little bit more. But ultimately, I got the job done. I did land the shots. That's what I was aiming to do. I knew I could land it, especially with the hands. It could have been a little bit cleaner, but aside from that, I'm happy.
And I think there was a point when you had him hurt against the fence and he landed a counter and kind of rocked you a bit. Was that kind of eye-opening too, like maybe not rush in there?
Yeah, 100%. My corner team were definitely loud to let me know about that, that's for sure. It's just, kind of not rushing. At the end of the day, I felt it was a good performance against a very tough guy. Still learning, still getting better. And like I say, it's just something to build up upon, but definitely it was amazing to find it back at home as well.
This is your first submission in the UFC?
Yeah, first submission in the UFC, bloody crazy, you know what I mean? Like I say, it's just something that was sort of given to me, It's nice to add another submission onto the track record, so I'm happy. Like I wanted to show more areas of my game, and tonight I got to do that.
Well, it's funny you said you were looking for that submission, and it was kind of given to you. The broadcast seemed to think that your opponent was he was so exhausted that it just felt like he maybe gave that because he was just so beat up and exhausted.
Either way, he got exhausted, trying to fight against me, trying to move away and stuff like that. And, I found the finish. And that's one thing that, I really wanted to do. I wanted to find the finish, wherever it may have came from, whichever part of the game. Obviously, in my head, I was kind of expecting it to probably come more from the stand-up area. But I'm happy that I was able to blend the arts together and show more of my skill set.
Do you hoping to get one more in there by the end of the year? Because even before this fight, this is your first fight of the year. You're hoping to get a second one before?
I'm hoping, yeah. I mean, look, as long as they clear me medically and stuff like that, I want to fight as early as possible, really. Either October, December, whatever it is. I'll rest up, I'll heal up, I'll get straight back into training. I'm looking to get back in there and continue my rise to the top. This is my 8th fight now in the UFC, and again, something to build upon. So I'm just gonna keep going.
You walk out to gigs again,
mate. It can't be done any other way. You know what I mean? It can't be done any other way. Now you see the difference when it's played in a crowd at home to when it's played like in America. America, they don't understand, but over here they know what it is.
Some of us appreciate it.
Well, anyways, but it was like I say. I was just very happy to come out to cheers as opposed to boos. But yeah, obviously you know what it's all about. But yeah, I'm glad that everyone responded the way that I expected it to. Anyways,
Modestas over here to your left.
Yeah.
Second stint in the UFC. That's 3 out of 4 for you in this second run. Talk to us about the mindset change, having gone through the disappointment of that first stint, coming back to the UK scene, rebuilding, and now coming back. Clearly vastly improved from the first time you were here.
Yeah, I think maybe it was a bit premature before to be in the UFC, but not by skill set, more just by mindset, I feel like, obviously, I felt like I was ready to take on the world, just after having been the Cage Warriors champion, defended it, and, stuff like that. And the thing is, I always know how good I am. My teammates constantly tell me, and it's just a case of showing it. Maybe it was a bit premature in terms of me just finally pulling the trigger when I'm in there, you know what I mean? I felt like but I say that, and then, I had in my eyes, I had a good performance against Oleksiejczuk and stuff like this, but definitely the killer mindset that I have is a lot different. You know, I'm more willing to actually get into a fight, get into a brawl and stuff like this. And you know, that sort of warrior mentality is something that you need in fighting. You know, some people can be calm, but I know for me, that's what I definitely need, and that's what I have. I've been training with the likes of, you know, Tom Aspinall, Mick Parkin. Mick Parkin got an amazing win. I'm very happy for him. I know Tom is going to defend his belt as well. So, you know, a great stable of guys. I've got my team at BST, I've got my dad. So, you know, it's just things to build upon. But I'm more confident, I'm more mature. I'm more mature as a fighter. Some people, they mature early, you know, like John Jones was able to do it at 23, but for me, this is now my maturing stage, and I'm very looking forward to put on more performances for you guys.
And just referencing the other two guys that are on the card who you've been training very closely with over the course of the last few weeks and months, how much has being in that room really helped you? And, you know, unusually probably for you being one of the smaller guys in the gym, right? So how's that been?
I said that many times, like, it's not often you have a picture where I'm like literally the shrimp, do you know what I mean? Like, outside all these giants, do you know what I mean? But it definitely helps you level up. I mean, you've got the likes, like I say, Ante Delia, you know, the Pavel Delitko, who's fighting for the Brave Belt, you know, Tom, Mick Parkin, Phil DeFries as well, he's an absolute animal, do you know what I mean? KSW champion. It's been absolutely amazing to add that to my camp, do you know what I mean? The sparring partners are such high-level guys, and, you know, there's such a warm family sort of environment up there as well. It definitely complements my training. I've been going up there every Monday and Tuesday now for the last 8 weeks just to complement all my other training, and even, you know, my dad and my other training partners and coaches have all said it's the same thing, you know, that it's definitely a whole different level of what I'm bringing just because I'm just training with such good level guys, and it just makes me even more like, even in the strength aspect, the speed aspect, all these different factors that go into it. So I'm very grateful.
Great stuff. Congrats.
Thank you, mate.
Congratulations. How does it feel to get a win here in the UK, first fight in the UK, UFC?
Joe, I just want to say it's very good talking to you, my brother. This guy has been following me for a very long time. He's been a reporter. He's grown up in the ranks in his field, and now I'm going up the ranks in my field as well. And it's amazing for us to both be here together, my brother. I just want to start off by saying that.
Appreciate that.
Before I move on, what was the question again?
First fight in the UK, in the UFC, how does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different vibe, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? When you, like I say, gigs talking the hardest. It bangs hard when you play it in America, but when you play it here, it's a whole other level, and I love it. It was amazing to have the crowd behind me. It was amazing to fight at home. It was amazing not having to take a 12-hour whatever flight, halfway across the world to go and have a fist fight. It's literally, for me, like kind of down the road. I've been, like I say, training with the likes of Tom and Mick, and it's just very, very familiar to me. And I love Manchester. I've been walking around here and I freaking love it. Do you know what I mean? I love the town, I love the people. And yeah, I definitely felt that gave me an extra bit of motivation to put on a better performance here in the UFC.
How soon do you want to be pushing towards that top 15 then?
I mean, I've just signed my second another contract with the UFC. So, like I say, just step by step, bit by bit, I mentioned in an interview before, I know they've got an Abu Dhabi. It depends when I get cleared and how everything goes, but, I'm going to try and get back to training as soon as possible. A legend of the sport, an absolute amazing athlete, fought for the belt. Ovin St. Preux, he had an amazing performance in his last fight. If I can get on the Abu Dhabi card, again, a fight close to home, that would be absolutely amazing. I think that's at the end of October. Probably give me enough time to prepare as well. And then one more at the end of the year. At the end of the day, I'm looking to try and, take it bit by bit, fight by fight, and just continue to get better, continue to grow, ultimately to get towards that belt.
Thank you.
Modestas, right here. It's your first fight in 8 months. How good does it feel to get that bad taste out of your mouth from the Vitor Prachnio fight?
Yeah, and Vitor Prachnio, a hell of an athlete. Very powerful puncher, as I found out. But what really upset me about that fight was that it was a miscalculation on my part. I made one error that cost me the fight, where I felt like I was, doing things like feeling my way into the fight and then getting caught. I felt like there was more to prove, there was more to do, and at first you're thinking, fuck, I just want to get back in there straight away. But ultimately, I believe that this was just a heaven sent. It was a calling from God, just to say, listen, you need to take your time. You need to train different areas. I've been doing wrestling competitions. I've been I've just been working on my skill set. I found obviously Tom's gym and stuff like this. When you've got so much time away from the cage, I mean, there's no way you can't improve, you know. So it was amazing just to finally be able to fight. But one thing that just made it even better, I must admit, is to be able to fight on home soil.
And that question mark kick that Marcin Prachnio caught you with in what? Yep. It was like you were like chest to chest, and he got his foot up there. How much did that surprise you when that landed?
Do you know what? We've been working to try and stop these or try and get away from these things, but it's funny when someone does something that I normally do to people. Obviously, it catches you a little bit off guard, but you know, credit to him, fair play to him. I always knew he was an amazing, you know, striker. You know, got really good kicks. I knew he was probably one of the only guys in light heavyweight division to be able to throw kicks like I can. Ultimately ended up using my boxing more in that fight. Fair play to him. I mean, you know, he's a hell of a kicker, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh. What is it about gigs that gets you so hyped for the fights? Why not any other UK rapper? Why is it gigs?
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, I guess you could call this something from my era, I don't know. Like, it was actually a friend, my good friend Kimon, he actually told me like, oh mate, if you came out to this would be sick. And then like, obviously I've heard it like many times, and then I thought, do you know what, this is actually pretty sick. There's something about it that just gets you in like a fighting mood. You know what it is? I know there's so many amazing artists out there obviously from the UK, but something about gigs just makes you want to fight. I don't know what it is. Like if I heard that shit in a club, I'd be ready to be swinging haymakers. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know what it is. I even remember watching there's a new program on Netflix. It's with the superheroes.
Supercell.
Yeah, Supercell. Yeah. And I remember it was playing in the club. I'm like, exactly. And I'm like, how the hell is everyone not just swinging shots at each other when this song is playing? Like honestly, for me, it's just something that, you know, it gets my blood boiling, gets myself ready to go. It's something like when you play that song in a club. And like you're just walking in the back and you're just nodding. Do you know what I mean? Just like walking around just nodding, like looking at everyone. Like it's kind of that kind of tune and I like it.
I completely get you. I'm a 5'8" girl, but when that song comes on, I could take you all on.
All hell breaks loose.
Okay, thank you.
Love that. Thank you so much, guys. Much love to all of you. Appreciate it.